Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. My name is Jedith. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, if you've been here before, hello again. I wanted to make this video to share something with you guys that I honestly think not many people know about. And I learned about it, I would say a few months ago, and honestly I just forgot to make a video on it. So I'm going to make one today. I'm going to let you guys in on this little secret where you can get some stats for free. That's like no effort. I promise you, no effort. So we all know that with the new crafted gear in Dragonflight, you have the opportunity to put these little effects on your gear called embellishments. So the main two DPS ones are Fang Adornments or Blue Silken Lining. Most people nowadays have veered towards using Blue Silken Lining. Fang Adornments is okay. It has the chance to heal instead of, do damage sometimes. It's a little less reliable, but it is slightly better single target. But honestly, Blue Silken Lining is better for us as Havoc Demon Hunters because it gives us some extra mastery, and we get it when we're above 90% health, which is fine because we get that extra mastery during our opener, which is where it's kind of most important. You'll find most Demon Hunters nowadays using Blue Silken Lining for Mythic Plus, for Raid, pretty much everything. So, for example, if I had Blue Silken Lining on my belt, which I did before, right? We'll just put it on here, and we'll say minimum quality 5. So, if I were to get a 418 belt with Blue Silken Lining on it, it says it would give me 220 mastery, which is quite a bit of mastery. That's a hefty chunk. But for some reason, and I honestly don't know what the explanation is for this. I have no clue. But if you put Blue Silken Lining on a ring, it gives you 243 instead of 220. Why? I don't know. Same eye level, same rank of the adornment, embellishment. It's the exact same. It just gives you more stats on a ring. So, with that in mind, if you have put your Blue Silken Lining embellishment on another slot, you could consider taking it off there and putting it on a ring. If you don't have a crafted ring, I would highly suggest making one because you can specify what stats you want exactly on the ring, right? I went for crit haste. I might make a second ring and have crit mastery on it, and maybe I would switch between them depending on whatever build I'm playing. The haste is going to be a bit more valuable for raid builds that use Shattered Destiny and Cycle of Hatred, whereas the ring with mastery on it might be better for Mythic Plus, where I'm using, the left-right Throwglaive Soul Rend build. So I actually think I might make a second ring. But with this ring, I have crit haste, and it comes with a socket when you make it. And yeah, you can throw a nice gem in there, put a nice enchant on it, and then you put this embellishment, Blue Silken Lining. It's giving you 243 mastery, which is a little extra, a little bit more than you would get otherwise on any other slot. And I've checked this on other slots, right? We can go to, I don't know, we'll go to a chest, put it there. Again, 418 chest, it's still only 220 mastery. We can check a cloak. Same deal, 220. But like I said, for some reason, on a ring, it's 243. So I would strongly suggest moving your Blue Silken Lining to a ring if it's not already, and that kind of frees up some more options for you to get different types of gear in some of the other slots if you had your crafted pieces elsewhere. I was kind of dependent on this belt at first. This was the first crafted piece of gear I made back in week 1. But now I could totally replace this with something else and not really feel too bad about it because it's not where my embellishment is living anymore, right? This is just a kind of a throwaway belt at this point. So I could go get one from any of the other dungeons or get one from my vault with the stats that I need and potentially put a socket on it. I'm not tied to this slot anymore like I was. And rings are actually pretty good to sacrifice having a high eye level on them because they don't have primary stat. Any type of jewelry, whether it's a neck piece or a ring, they don't have primary stat on it, so they don't have agility, meaning it's a bit more tolerable because you're not losing out on all of that primary stat. Yes, you're getting a little bit less stamina, but you're also just getting a buttload of secondary stats, and that's what's most important from these types of items, is the secondary stats that you're getting from them. So if you can get a ring that has the proper stats, even if it's, you know, say 418 eye level instead of, I don't know, 420 or whatever, or 415 instead of 418, but the 415 one has the right stats on it, that's going to be more valuable to you than a higher eye level ring that has the wrong stats. Yeah, I've kind of gone off track here, but moral of the story is take your blue Silken Lining, put it on a ring, get extra stats. Now, just another tip, if you haven't already done this as well, you want to find a piece of crafted gear that you can put the alchemical flavor pocket on. Where do I have mine right now? I have it on my weapon, my offhand weapon. You can buy this off the auction house, or you can get one from the weekly feast, community feast event. But essentially what it does is it increases the duration of well-fed bonuses from the Dragon Isles meals by 100%, and they now persist through death. I spoke about this in another video, but essentially this is incredibly useful in Raid and in Mythic Plus. In Raid, what it does, if your whole raid team has this embellishment, it saves you a lot of downtime after wipes. You know, your whole raid team doesn't have to sit down and eat a feast after every wipe. Every pull, you're going to sit there for 30 seconds waiting to get that well-fed buff. Then you can pull. If your whole raid is committed, which my guild is, you know, we all got the flavor pocket. If somebody couldn't afford it, we helped them. You know, guild bank paid for it, because it's definitely worth it for your team to save that time between each pull, especially on prog. So that's for raid. Now, in terms of Mythic Plus, I would argue it's even more valuable, because you can eat some food at the start of a key, and then say you happen to die at some point in the dungeon, right? Instead of having to find some time to sit down and eat again for, you know, 10 seconds to get another well-fed buff, it's not feasible. It's really hard to find that extra time. And if you do take the time to sit down, it's wasted time. But with this, if you die, you get to keep that well-fed buff that you got at the start of the key. And if you are that type of player who isn't sitting down and eating again after every death, this is essentially giving you an extra buff that you haven't had the entire time in your Mythic Plus runs. So definitely something that you should consider buying if you don't have one already. You can buy it off the auction house. The prices for it have gone up and they've gone down, but I think now they've kind of stabilized. I would imagine you can find one anywhere between 50 and probably 90,000 gold on your auction house. So go get that, slot it into some piece of crafted gear that you might have. It can go anywhere, I'm pretty sure. I have mine on my weapon. I believe I had it somewhere. I had it on my chest at one point. Definitely go get one of those. And yeah. So if you guys are in the process of trying to figure out what crafted gear you should be making for your character, maybe you are a little late to the game, or you're starting a new alt and you're not sure what piece of crafted gear to make, I highly recommend you watch this video that I posted a while ago. That'll tell you exactly how you can find the best crafted piece of gear for you to craft with your gear setup at this very moment. So go watch that video, and, you know, on your way, just scroll down and slam a Chaos Strike on that sub button. God, that was cringy. All right, I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.